Well, what is going on, y'all? Who does that sound like to you? Well, what is going on, y'all? Who does that? Come on, whose words are those? Hey folks, Lester here.
That's Cog Hill.
Yes, that is Cog Hill. This is Christmas. Everybody, she thinks that she is God's gift to everybody.
She's very important today.
Let me tell y'all what happened with her. Now, I didn't want to jump right into it, but Jamie and I had to split duties today. She took off over to I'm a Survivor to get some jobs done, and Christmas just had to go with her. Christmas,
she demanded to
she
go.
likes the car, and she wanted to go with Jamie so bad. And so Jamie sends me a text. She goes, I got Christmas with me. She didn't tell me before she left. She just
I didn't plan on it. Christmas just wanted to come along. Similar to her wanting to be a part of this as well.
And so sure enough, I had Lex here. And so Lex and I were playing for a few hours, giving him time. You know, we like to spend some father-son time here at the Longhorn Lester's. And so finally we drive over, and Jamie's out in the pasture. Christmas doesn't realize, though, that over here, she can go in the pastures because there's the longhorns, a couple of ostriches, horses, ponies, donkeys, goats. Not a problem. Christmas can run them all. However, she completely forgot that at the other property, there's a little character by the name of Annie. And all of a sudden, Annie and Indy took off after her. And she just realized, oh, crap, I forgot where I was at. And then we were scared because she's only a couple of days post they spayed her. And so she still has all of her inners, I'm sure just all inner.
Trying to rest. She's supposed to rest.
Yeah. So Jamie's screaming at me like, what did I do wrong? So I had to jump inside the pasture. I run, and I don't run the way I used to run. I used to could run like a gazelle. I could just make my way across there. And now it's more of a Hunchback of Notre Dame hobble is pretty much the way I run. And so you have Christmas being chased by Annie, who's being chased by Indy, who's being chased by Ernie, and then all of these geese. And then here comes me hobbling behind all of them.
And Pig Trudy.
Oh, yes, Pig Trudy. And they were all after her. And so I don't know how I did it, but Christmas made some kind of a loop-de-loop and came right into my arms. I scooped her up. Geese bite me. I mean, geese were just eating my legs up. Jamie's able to make Andy and them.
Yeah, I was corralling Annie and Indy and Ernie. And
I say Andy too all the time.
I don't know why that just came out of my mouth.
When you say Annie and Indy together, it always comes out Andy.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm corralling them, and Lester is like. It seemed like if you would if you could
Jamie,
go back
don't
and
make it worse than what it is. I'm sure when my Hunchback of Notre Dame seems like you were in slow motion.
No, yeah, you're heroic. Like I felt like you dove in head first to get her.
Oh, so in a good way.
And the geese were like coming out over top of you, and I'm just like. I felt like it was all slow motion, but it happened so fast, and I felt like all of us were like raw, like you know how that sounds.
That's probably going to be what the screenshot dramatic. Yeah, y'all make sure that y'all get a screenshot of Jamie's going raw, and make sure y'all send that to her.
Please don't do that.
And so she can always be reminded of the way she looks. Oh, that reminds me, we had some fun today, me and Lex. Lex is only 11. And so he's all up to date on all of these different apps. And so Lex wanted to show me how I was going to look when I turned 70. And I'm like, I guess I'll look like my dad. My dad's in his 70s. I'm guessing I'll look about the same, more wrinkles, No, that's not the truth. Lex, he has technology, AI technology, artificial, what do they call it? AI, artificial intelligence, has it all figured out. And so Lex had me take his phone, look into it, and he snapped a picture. And all of a sudden, it begins to calculate. It can calculate all kinds of stuff. And Lex wanted to calculate it 20 years from now when I was going to be 70 to show you all how I was going to look. And so we're going to bring y'all that here in a few minutes. Now, because fair is fair. So I says, Lex, if you're going to make me do that, then I want to see how you're going to look when you're 70. So Lex took a picture of himself at and it showed him how he's going to look at the age of 70. It's like an age progression app. It's a lot of fun, but it's also kind of sad. And then poor Jamie, poor baby. I says, Jamie, you have to do it. She goes, I don't want to. I don't want to. She did not want to. She did not want to do it, man. She did not. I says, you have to do it. This is me. This is me. This is Lex.
Because I know that a picture is forever, and if it's in the hands of Lex tomorrow, it's not just between us.
Well, it's about to be between you, me, Lex, and a whole lot of other folks who are going to see the way you and I
see. That's what I mean.
Well, y'all need to know. You need to know. I think that everyone.
I don't think they need to know what I look like in 20 years.
They need to know, Jamie. Wouldn't you love, though, if this technology was around in our days, back when we were younger?
No.
How much fun we could have. Or, we were probably, back in our high school days, we were probably so, I don't know the right word, superficial, that we probably would have had a girlfriend or a boyfriend who says, hey, do me a favor, let me have a picture of you real fast. And how many times do you think we would probably go home and look at that age of 30, 40, 50, 60? And at that point, we would have made decisions based on that. Not about love.
At the age of 17, I was already trying to look older. I was already trying to appear older than I was, because I think that that's what we do until you get to about 28 or 29. And then suddenly you don't want to look that old. You want to look younger. So, like, can I get a reverse app instead of this? Because I'm not a fan of this app at all.
It's a lot of fun, and I have it. I've already. Oh, you can put her outside? Okay.
All right, come on, let's go.
All right, baby. We love you, sweetie.
Come on, I hear you.
So she wants to go outside, but what we did, so we are coming to you guys on StreamYard. I am going to really tick off the powers that be over at you know where. I don't want to say any names, but one business is going to be very upset with me. But I'm tired, y'all. I'm just so tired. She doesn't want to go outside. Oh, she just wants a snack. Jamie opens the door and she's like, mm-mm. And she looks at the little island here in the kitchen and she just wants a snack. And so
Christmas is very smart. What Christmas will do is
Jamie's back.
I'll open the door and she'll look over her shoulder and go.
Well, we will get to the age progression pictures in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah. Let's just save it for.
Well, what I wanted to talk about first was this really neat gift that, oh, my gosh. Baby, you've already had your snack, sweetie. She's like, can you just hold me for a while? I'm still freaked out about that Annie and Indy fiasco. Jamie will pick her up and carry her and hold her right here in her lap. All right, there you go. You feel better, baby? You want to show her scar? You want to show her scar to everybody?
I think I can lift her up that high.
I can do it.
Look.
Yeah,
we got a pretty good
that's
incision.
her incision right there. All right, put her down. Don't hurt her, baby. You okay?
She doesn't want to be put down. Trust me.
She wants us to hold her.
Right. Look at her. She's looking at you.
That reminds me of the way she looked when they were loading her up after her surgery. My thumbnail, I made a really funny thumbnail
up here, baby.
And I said, this is your brain on drugs. And she was like, she had that cone on her head and she looked so darn goofy. She was just like spaced out when the lady was putting her in the car. Yeah. And I used that as part of my thumbnails. As a matter of fact, talking about thumbnails, I made a creative thumbnail. And even though it was humorous, once you saw the video, there were a lot of people freaking out and going crazy and mad at me because of my thumbnail. Jamie, I triggered something. I triggered something in somebody. Let me show you the thumbnail. Give me a moment. So that was a thumbnail that I used on this afternoon's Facebook video. Jamie cheated on me right in front of my kid. Okay, listen, that's called a thumbnail. So let me tell you the purpose of a thumbnail. Jamie, do me a favor. You talk out. What is the purpose of a good thumbnail? How can a thumbnail make you or break you?
It's like a cover of a movie box. It makes you maybe want to watch it.
They say you should not judge a book by its cover, but in virtual world of video creation, we've learned that if you don't put a thumbnail, put a bright and colorful title, sometimes put some words that might attention grab, then it's very possible that your video will get completely overlooked. And rightfully so, because you have to take time. This is your product. But when I put Jamie cheated on me right in front of my kid, there were people who never watched the darn video. They simply went right to the comments and were putting the most horrific things, mostly that I probably deserved it, that I started it, that it's my fault because I admitted at some point a while back that my phone has got me into more trouble than it's worth or something. And so
you can't eat those.
Yeah, you may have to actually put her outside, because she can't be comfy sitting there like that.
Well, she thinks she is.
I know, but she's just really distracting from our life, baby. Why don't you go outside with your friends? All your friends are outside. All of your friends are outside. And so I created this thumbnail and I stuck that on the video. I thought it would be funny because it actually is true, but not the way a lot of you take it. And I've learned that that's the way it is with triggers. Sometimes you don't have any malintent whatsoever. You okay? Yeah. Don't hurt your back trying to carry her around. You're just going to put her down? Mm-hmm. You don't have any malintent, but we did get this really neat game that we were gifted. I'm going to wait for Jamie to come back before I play it. But look at this. We were gifted this, and it's it's tic-tac-toe, but it's made out of wood. And what you do is you play tic-tac-toe. But the neat thing about it, Jamie has to be the O. She has to be the O. She goes, oh, no, give me the O. I want the O. And so now normal tic-tac-toe, when you're just drawing everything onto a board, you have your grid. You have your 9-square grid. And you can put your X or your O in any grid you choose.
And at any level.
Yeah, any level.
Can we pick this back up? Okay, there.
Well, it just doesn't show our entire board.
Oh.
But that's okay. It's okay. But in this tic-tac-toe, it's very similar to Connect 4. In that when you
3.
Yeah, but when you put your block on or your X or your O, it drops to the bottom. So in a way, you have to think of it a little bit backwards. It's not
are you going to show the video of what happened?
Well, I just wanted to. I can stop it and then bring it back up. Yeah, let me just hide this for a moment. Oh, we'll get back to it. I promise you that. We'll get back to it. So Jamie and I were playing some tic-tac-toe. And in our first game, I don't think either one of us realized that in tic-tac-toe, it's 3 in a row.
Yeah, you only get 9 spaces.
They're 9 spaces.
Yeah.
And so we were playing, and Jamie won the first round. And man, she was laughing and just having a great time and embarrassing me in front of my kid. And she was really rubbing it in. Then to come to find out later, I didn't even notice it at the time. It was not until I
didn't notice it though either.
Yeah. Bottom line is, it wasn't until I was actually building the video when I'm like, wait a minute, she has 4. You can't do that. It's 3. You can't put an X out above the grid on a tic-tac-toe board. And that's just what she did. So in a cute way, I says, Jamie cheated on me right in front of my kid. It was funny. It was clever. It wasn't necessarily clickbait, yet it got your attention. It was supposed to entice you to watch the video to see how this all happened, how it all transpired. We're video creators. We tell stories. And God forbid if I didn't have to go by and delete. And then Jamie's poor mom, she's on the job today, y'all. Jamie's mom helps moderate. And so she is on the job and she's like, y'all might want to remove that video. No one's watching it. They're only assuming the worst. I'm not going to remove the video. It's a cute video. YouTube, you haven't seen it yet. It'll come out in a couple of days. I had to Facebook post it first. Anyway, we're going to play tic-tac-toe and show y'all how this game goes. It's very challenging, and Jamie's going to be O's.
Yeah, bend that down.
I can, or I can find something to put this up on if you would rather me. Give me that thing of Kit Kats right there.
It's enough. It's not.
That ain't gonna be enough, Jamie.
Grab Dixie's medicine.
Dixie's
The
Medicine.
white thing.
I'm afraid that might be a little bit unbalanced. We can try it though. All right, we're going to try this for y'all. All right, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. Okay, so you have to remember that it's going to drop to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and block you from trying to go up with this. There you go. So now I obviously have to block you from trying to go horizontal. So now I got you blocked 2 ways. Isn't this fun? We played for hours and hours and hours. So
someone sent this to us, and I looked it up, and it's something on Etsy as well. This is a cat's game.
darn, you're gonna make me put my X right there, which means that you're going to put your O right there. But in our game earlier, Jamie pulls one of these kind of moves. There you go, yeah! And she starts hollering and yelling, and she was so fast to say, look, 3, I got 3, and she started taking them all off. And I'm like, damn, man, I got beat. On video, I got beat, and I was so embarrassed. But it doesn't quite work that way, Jamie. So
listen, I didn't realize that there was extra rod, okay?
It was a really fun game.
It was fun.
And then I talked a little bit about it, how it matches the decor in this house.
Yeah.
I hate to use words like decor because that sounds so girly, and that's like totally takes all my man points and just done. Lester said decor. Lester said decor.
Your man points are gone from years ago. You're in debt on man points.
I am dead on man points.
I said in debt.
Oh, in debt. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it does match the woodwork of the house. And so that's really neat. And so thank you so very much for the kind sender of that. We do have a lot of games that we play. Have you noticed that most of our games are electronic? Think about, some of the ones that you buy that we have played or get played on rare occasions, but think about all the electronic games that we play as a family. But they're electronic.
I try really hard to not buy electronic ones, though. So I gotta turn. Sorry, I'm like straddling you the wrong way.
Like Hi Ho Cheerio, and no one wanted to play with us.
Yes. No, like I play like
Scrabble.
Well, Scrabble is a big one that we play.
Yahtzee, Scrabble. We love Scrabble.
We have big Jenga. We have big Connect 4 now. We played Shut the Box a couple times. That wasn't a big fan, but then I bought regular Clue and nobody liked it. And then we bought electronic Clue and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of displace it all for you every time. And
what's the dice game you taught us that we love? The dice.
Left, right, center.
Left, right, center. If you don't know that game, Jamie taught us that one and we can't get enough. We love that game. Yeah. We play with quarters. And it's just really neat that whoever wins that little jackpot, it may not be a lot, but it looks like when you see 10, 12, 15 quarters, like you're just about to strike it rich.
Especially whenever it like makes the loop a few times. We love left, right, center.
Left, right, center. Yeah, Jamie's taught us a lot of games.
We're a game family. So after like holidays and things, we played a lot of cards and a lot of games at both sides of my family. And my grandma taught us, like, I'm pretty sure I learned math in poker at like 3 years old. So there's that. But
well, we do. I have taken Jamie twice to casinos. We went once in Lake Charles and once to the little local casino here, the Indian reservation, the not Cushada.
Yeah, Alabama Cushada.
That's the name of the tribe, but the casino is called something different. I know the tribe is Alabama Cushada, but the Cushada is in Lake Charles.
Naskilla.
Naskilla. It's called the Naskilla Gaming. And so I have learned how to play roulette. But that's kind of a board game if you think about it. It's not really a board, but it is. We
taught the kids how to play it too.
Yeah, we taught the kids how to play. We have a lot of fun with that.
Well, we bought poker chips, and it together for us is together. But I like it to not be electronic. I want to think. I want them to think. I want to have conversation while someone else is thinking, and just to be able to have that family time is really important to us. So
I'll tell y'all someone who cheats a lot and you have no idea. Do you know who I'm going to say? in Scrabble, who is the biggest cheater?
Megan.
Ellie's fiance, Megan. I love her. We love her to death. But man, she is a cheater. God, she can cheat. And so don't hold it against Megan. It's cute the way she tries to justify her cheating.
Yeah, it makes logical sense to her. We're like, you cannot spell that word backward. That's not going to work for you.
You can't do it backwards.
You cannot stack it on top of each other. Like, that's not going to work for you.
But for all the folks who play games, I bet you they all know in their family or amongst their friends, I bet you someone is known as the one you better look out for, the one that's going to probably try to pull one over on you.
You know, it was my grandpa on one side.
Really?
Yes. And because we would play this game called Chase the Ace, which I haven't played with y'all yet, but it's also called Rob Your Neighbor. Like, there's multiple names for it, but it's a card game and everybody gets one card. And the ace is the lowest card, and you want to give that away, but the king blocks it. So if you're trying to pass your ace on to the next person, somebody has a king, they flip it up and they block it.
So Grandpa hid kings under his cap, huh?
No, Grandpa would come up with aces like out of nowhere all the time and would be like passing them off to everybody, trying to get out of it. And sometimes I'm like, that's not the same ace that he had. Like, I was counting cards in my head and like, that's not possible. My grandpa always had aces and cheated. Sure of it.
There's always somebody. Someone says Megan's very competitive. You can tell. Megan is competitive, but you know what? You admire that.
All the Marls are just as competitive, so she fits right in.
Are.
I sit back and I watch them all. I'm like, it's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. But
yeah,
it is fun.
You do want to win.
Oh, everybody wants to win. I think maybe that would be one of my girls' nights out. Maybe we'll play a game of some sort. That would be fun.
Yeah. I did not know so many people know about left, right, center. There's so many folks who know about that game. And it was crazy that you had taught me, and I just thought it was the neatest thing ever. And I've taught my kids, and
it's also 6-5-4. So it before they made the actual dice game with the L and the R and the C on it, you could play with regular dice. And 6-5-4, you had to know that 6 was to the right, 5 was the middle, 4 was to the left, and any other number, if you got a 1, 2, 3, was clear, like the dots are. So someone made that up at some point in time. But it was like when I was growing up, it was 6-5-4.
Yeah.
And now they actually have converted it to the game of left, right, center, and have the actual dice that we use.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to think as much.
Yeah. Oh, spoons. So I played spoons with my grandparents, and my grandpa definitely cheats at spoons all the time. Like, it's funny now. Like,
no,
we all expect
now,
it.
right? Is he
no,
passed?
not that one. The other one. Okay, he's still my dad's dad.
Okay.
That was the big gaming family. Was there. My other grandparents loved to play Michigan Rummy. And my grandma loves Pictionary to this day. Yeah.
Now,
and euchre.
Rummy's a card game. Right.
It's a card game, and Michigan Rummy is played with like a mat or a tray that has like bins for where the money goes based on the cards type of thing.
So the only card game that my mom and dad play was oh my gosh, Canasta. It's the game called Canasta.
I've never played Canasta.
You've never played Canasta?
Played Pinochle, euchre.
No, I've never heard of those. But my mom and dad, every time we had a family event, they would get out the deck of cards and we would play Canasta. And it was always a lot of fun playing with partners. A lot of cheating. There was always a lot of cheating going on. But you know what? There's always somebody. Anyway, I know what you're trying to do. Talk about games so we will not show our age progression video. But no, the whole point of the matter is, guys, just know that when someone takes the time to create a thumbnail, it does sometimes they twist it in a backwards way. It should usually apply to your video in somehow. So when I said Jamie cheated on me right in front of my son, I was hoping to get your attention, but mostly hoping you'd watch the video, not go right to the comments and tell me what a sorry SOB I am and how I deserve what I've gotten. How, yeah, that's what someone actually said. What goes around comes around. I mean, I got all kinds of horrible things.
I didn't read any comments on that.
No, I'm lucky. You and your mom and I were communicating, and she was keeping them straight. She was trying to keep it all straight. I'm glad she watched the video.
Maybe you should have given her a heads up about that one.
I didn't think it was a big deal. Now, I can't read a lot what's going on, so you have to kind of keep me.
People are still talking about euchre and card games.
Oh, people love card games.
And I'm telling you, games are fun. I love games. Like, I used to love Time Out Tuesday games. I loved Well, when Zaner was little, we played Uno, and that kid can play Monopoly and beat me in Monopoly. Still to this day, he can beat me in Monopoly. But we played every kind of game ever. We had a game closet at our house, similar to how in the dining room now at I'm a Survivor, we have
Connect Four, giant Connect Four,
and we have a shelf, like a bookshelf that has all of the family games on it. And I love games.
So Jamie bought us for Christmas a yard set of chess. Now we don't play in the yard because our pieces, we never filled them with sand or water, so they blow over. But we have played here on the steps, the patio around the house here when it's not quite so windy. The blocks, what'd you call it again? Not pickup sticks, Jenga, but giant Jenga, not the little one, the big one. That's a lot of fun. And now we have another game.
Yeah, this is really awesome. We have enjoyed it today. And now I'm actually being very strategic and paying attention to, his plan. So I'm not going to lose again.
No, she won't. It's hard to beat her at anything. All right, well, let me go ahead and show y'all what I promised you. I'll show you a picture of my son, Lex. For anyone that has forgotten what Lex looks like, let me show you. Well, there's Lex right there, obviously. There's Lex right there. But now this is going to be sad. Here comes Lex at the age of 70. Now, this is according to his age progression video. Why are you laughing at my son at the age of 70?
Because his hair stayed dark. He didn't even get gray hair.
That's the one positive. He didn't get gray hair, but my God, his poor kid, his eyes have drooped down. His cheeks have everything in his face has kind of fallen down. Gravity has definitely taken its toll on poor Lex at the age of 70. But overall, I can still see Lex in that very easily. Mm-hmm. I can still see Lex in that. So the technology for this thing is kind of neat. Now, there's no one to say if Lex is going to keep his hair, lose his hair, how far back it'll recede. And the little app is free. It's nothing fancy. It's not something the FBI would ever use for age progression and stuff like that. But it was a cute little filtered kind of a game that we played. Well, I say it was cute. It was cute at this point.
I'm like, it might be cute for that.
Yeah, well, coming up next is yours truly at the age of 70. And I would say that it's not quite as cute. Yeah, can we just stop it right there? I don't know what happened to me, Jamie. I don't know what happened to me, but all of my
your head got pointy.
My head got very pointy, and all of that has fallen down to my cheek area. All of that has fallen down to here. And I don't know how that can happen to somebody. I also got very pale. I don't know why I'm so darn pale, but I can promise you one thing. I'll continue to wear a cap. If that's my future, I
think you're gonna have to take that cap and stuff it on one side, and you're gonna grow a unicorn by 80.
If that is my look at the age of 70, I can still see me in that. I can still see me, but I'll tell you what, Jamie, a lot of I take much pride in the fact that I have a round head. I love that I have a round head because not every head looks good bald. And so I think for being a bald guy, then I'm actually doing okay because I have a nice round head. However, that guy does not have a round head. That guy's head is completely sunken down to his cheek area. And so, no, I did not stick Jamie's picture on here. I could do it that fast if you let me. I can do it that fast if you want me to, but I won't embarrass you. But we had a lot of fun with that. I appreciate.
Go ahead. If you can laugh at you, I can laugh at me.
Are you sure you're okay with this?
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to embarrass you.
It's only one feeling. It's okay.
Huh?
It's only one feeling. It's okay.
All right. Well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to do it. So let's just go ahead and chit chat for a while
you want to chit chat?
I turned my phone off and everything. So that same spammer wouldn't be calling me while I'm live. There's somebody who gets a big kick out of knowing my phone number, and they never call until I go live.
That's so weird.
Listen, they call like 30 times. It's the dumbest thing ever. It is the dumbest thing ever. But hey, to each his own. and you don't want to judge people because maybe they think it's funny to them, and they
People
maybe
want to see it, so pull it up. And
oh, they do want to see it. Okay.
yeah, and I'm gonna be a good sport and laugh with y'all. Just know that I made him redo it 3 times because I was like, that can't be right.
It's booting.
It must be an angle. That must be wrong. It must be horrible. And then each one got worse. And I was like, just use the first one then. Just
yeah. Because there's different kinds. You can go at 70, 75, 80. You can go on and on and on. And we had a lot of fun with this. But I don't know if I'll make it to 70, Jamie. I don't know. All right, are we ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? Introducing Jamie at the age of 70.
Here's the thing. Why do I have the long face? Like, why the long face?
Because gravity begins to take a toll, Jamie. Gravity takes a toll on us all. And yes. I mean, Jamie, I don't mean to, never mind. I'm not even going to say it, but gravity is real. And if you don't know much about gravity, think about your body at the age of 20 compared to your body at the age of 50.
Okay, so
ladies,
here's something that somebody said.
And men.
We can stop showing that now. We're
Are you
over
sure?
It. I'm 1,000,000% over it.
What's everyone saying in the comments? I can't.
They said the same thing I did. Why the long face?
Why the long face? But listen, I can still see you there.
Okay.
And listen, you're still beautiful to me.
Well, that's really sweet. You have to say that. You have love goggles on.
Huh?
So here's something funny.
Hold on. Here's me. Here's me at the age of 70 if I gain 20 pounds. So you can change your weight. Yes. So listen, if you'll love me, and I plan on gaining weight at some point. Once I stop making videos, I'm just going to get fat. I don't even care anymore. Right now, I semi-care about my body. But when I stop making videos and no one knows me and no one sees me ever, that's going to be me right there. I'm going to gain 20, 30 pounds. And then that guy's going to love this girl.
How did my nose get so much bigger? That's what I want to know. Did it keep growing?
I don't know.
Like, is that a thing? 'Cause I feel like that my face stopped and my head stopped and my nose, and suddenly I got extra chin too.
Oh,
and not like layers of chin. Like it grew. You grew a unicorn and I grew a pointy chin.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, well.
And then, okay, so you talked about gravity and how everything just starts to fall down. One time somebody said to me, Jamie, it's like grapefruits and socks. That's what's going to happen to you. And I went,
grapefruit in socks?
Grapefruits in socks. Think about that.
Yeah, so.
Not a man.
Yeah, I know. And boobs.
Yeah. And now, every time that I see my face or anything about that, that's all that goes in my head. I'm like, grapefruits and socks. That's just
so you don't picture your face. You picture how the rest of your body's going to look at
this.
Well.
And you know what? It is what it is. I'll probably still have the same buoyant problems in the hot tub, and I'll probably just roll with it and whatever.
Well, stick close to me, because if you can accept how I'm going to look, I guess I'll accept how you're going to look.
Just keep those pictures forever and we can compare someday. Great.
Won't that be fun? That's awesome.
Apparently your noses do continue to grow. I had always heard that your nose and ears are the only thing on your body that continue to grow. And apparently that app knows about it.
Well, that app's pretty smart then. Lex and I had a fun time playing with that. There's also, you could put it at any age you wanted to. We didn't go more than 70 because I don't think I want to live past 70. And I'm completely okay with that.
Gosh.
What's sad and what's scary is if you think about it. So I've talked about this before in videos, but think about it for a minute. Most men on average outlive their wives by 10 years. Okay. Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, yes. They don't. Women's age.
No, I was backwards.
Yeah. I'm like, no, they don't.
Yes. Most women outlive their men by 10 years, but what if they're like you and me, who already have 10 years age difference? So that means that it's very possible that you'll end up the last 20 years of your life without this guy. So I wonder how many guys are going to end up falling in love with.
None, because I don't have time for that. Like,
Don't say what you've always said. Don't be mean right now.
What?
That something to the effect of, oh, if you ever die, then I am done. I'll never get with another man again. Or all that kind of stuff. That's not romantic.
That's true though. Sorry, I've met my quota. Like
I have.
done. I don't want to share closet space again. I don't. No, I'm good.
Well, there you go.
Here on live, if I die first, are you going to share closet space again?
No, absolutely not.
See?
No, I have learned to content myself. That sounds horrible.
I'm like, where are you going with this right now?
No, but I have learned
You're
to.
red.
Yeah, because I know what everyone's thinking right now. Oh yeah, Lester can please himself. We know what he means. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I have learned to be content with who I am, with what I do, and there's a busy. These are some busy days, man. These are some busy days. And I think that I would let's, God forbid, nothing can happen to you because you do cook really good and you help manage my life. You have made everything. You're just a great girl. You're a great girl, man. Nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing can happen to you. But if something did happen to you, I think that like most folks, they probably devote all of their attention to their children. Would you agree? But the sad thing about that is our children have already gotten their own lives and they don't have time to spend with us, right? Think about that for a minute.
It's true.
If for some reason something happened to me, you would probably find a lot more time to want to connect and spend time with Xander. However, Xander is in school. Xander is in a serious relationship. He's a mover and a shaker. And do you really think that Xander's going to have find time for mama?
I would say though that hopefully by that point in time we have grandkids to invest in as well.
That's true too.
I'm not rushing that or asking for that or anything like that. But
don't get any ideas, Xander.
Orally, not yet. Too soon. Yeah, but I think that there's just a natural thing for that to happen. But no, somebody else says, well, if Jamie dies first, Lester will have a lot of shoes. That's true. You have a lot of shoes.
They saw my video, I'm guessing. They saw my most recent video of my truck being loaded down with shoes.
Loaded down.
No, it was the entire back seat. It was my vet video. And I was going to the vet, and you don't take dogs and animals to the vet in the newer truck. You take them in the farm truck. And I open up the farm truck and it's loaded down with shoes.
That were not just mine.
They were yours. Don't.
All of your boots were in there too, in the boxes. Yeah.
Jamie, all of my boots, 2 pair. Don't sit there and talk like, okay, you're making that up. You're sitting there making that up. If you mean rubber boots, that doesn't count. Rubber boots don't count as boots. Those are rubber boots. And those were a gift. So you don't turn down a gift, okay? And you don't wear out rubber boots. They last forever. So those 5 pair of boots.
And yeah, I keep my work shoes in boxes so that our dogs don't chew them. So people are like, oh, that was a lot of shoes.
I'll tell y'all a dumb story. Since we're telling dumb stories about each other, I'll tell y'all a dumb story.
I didn't know we were telling dumb stories.
Let's tell some dumb stories. We might as well just tell some dumb stories. Jamie, like every woman, I'm guessing like most women, have certain things that you just enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Every man and woman have things that they enjoy. And you should, on occasion, spoil yourself and splurge on things that you enjoy. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's healthy. It's healthy to be able to indulge in things you enjoy. So Jamie happened to spoil herself once and bought a pair of shoes because they were going to look great with this one particular outfit. However, she never had a chance to wear that outfit. And those shoes that she really went above and beyond financially on, set in the box, and she thought they'll be fine. They'll be fine because one day I'm going to wear those shoes with this particular outfit. And I don't know how long you said it took until one day it was finally time. You had the perfect opportunity. You're going to wear the outfit. You put it on. Man, you look good. And you went into the shoes and you opened that box and slipped them shoes on and you'd never worn them. Yet as you're walking around your apartment or your home, those shoes begin to crumble because the stitching in those shoes.
Because they were satin. They were high heels that had satin around them. And okay, we're gonna go further on this. Ladies know that when you find a pair of heels that are comfortable, you behold them. You don't let them go because it's hard to find heels that are comfortable. So these were a pair of satin. They weren't real satin. I don't know. It's slick material that was like cloth.
Satiny.
Satiny material that were around where it goes around your toes. And they were the most comfortable heels that I had ever put on my feet in my life. And I wanted to preserve them for nice things because they were satin. So I did preserve them for this really nice event. And I put on this beautiful black dress to go to a fancy cocktail hour dinner for work, and it was the perfect time to put on the shoes. They were amazing. They were beautiful. They were comfortable. In 2 steps, and they had the glue, I guess, between humidity and not humidity, and just not wearing them at the time had made it separate. It was a sad moment.
That's always been a funny story to me. So yeah, so when Jamie moves shoes and there's so many boxes of shoes and she wants to keep them in the box, I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm just gonna, but remember, there's no guarantee that when you finally open that box up and put them shoes on, they're gonna still be any good.
The problem is that, so I don't buy expensive shoes. I don't. But those I had found on clearance at White House Black Market. And if you know that store, it's really expensive. And I found them on clearance for like $60. $60 is very expensive for shoes, for heels. And now I have learned my lesson that I should have worn them when I originally bought them and loved them. And it's tragic. And I don't get to keep them.
So a funny story that's similarly related, but stitching, people don't think about stitching. I don't think stitching kind of goes unnoticed. And so my poor son, Lex, he's in middle school, and that's an age that's very impressionable. And I think that we all in middle school kind of had an imaginary audience. We assume that everyone's always watching us, everything that we do. And so poor Lex, he had this backpack that he wanted so bad. It was a nice backpack. And I'm sure it probably cost his mom quite a bit more than what you'd want to spend on a backpack. But he gets to school one morning and he gets out of the truck and he puts his backpack on. And as he's walking towards the school, one of his straps pops at the stitching. Didn't come unbuckled. It popped at the stitching. And so his backpack falls and now it's hanging over one shoulder. And he just froze in his tracks, And he's looking at me and I'm in the truck and I'm already pulling away. Cars are behind me unloading their children. And I see him and I just felt he was just like looking around like, who's going to see me? And so he runs back to the truck and he's in he wasn't crying, but he was like, what do I do? What do I do? He was just panicked about what does he do? And I'm like, son, it's broke. The stitching is just doesn't hold up to all the weight that you carry in that thing. And so I had to show him how in my generation, we would sometimes carry our backpacks over one shoulder. And it's not that weird. You just,
They started to make them only have one strap at some point in
there
time
was
because
a time.
That's what we did was carry them with one strap.
So he had to manage his way through that day with having a backpack with only one strap. But that's when you talk about the stitching in your shoe just fell apart. I'm like, yeah, his expensive backpack stitching just fell apart. So
you know what's terrible
though? It does happen. What?
This is what I've resorted. I'm going to put my oh no, I just unplugged that. This is what I've resorted to wearing every day now. This is my regular, horrible, I don't care, I'll go in public attire. Boots. Farm boots at that. Not even like dress little cute boots. Farm boots. How did I do that?
You probably unplugged it.
I did unplug it.
And when she says that that's what she wears on a regular basis, she's not making that up. We went bike riding. We took a bike ride around our neighborhood using our e-bikes. We were so excited to take the e-bikes out on a real road ride, a ride around the lake here. And it's a 7-mile stretch. And Jamie's riding her bike. We're in her boots, probably on the same stretchy pants.
Pretty much this outfit.
Her stretchy pants and boots. And I'm wearing shorts and Crocs. in which I was fine with my attire because I looked like I might be a guy out riding a bike, a guy in his 50s out riding a bike. That's what they probably wear, shorts and Crocs. But no one ever thought there was going to pass a chick wearing stretchy pants and boots. And so, so when she says that's her attire, that is in fact her attire.
So I'm a survivor. I would typically just run out in flip-flops because it's sandy soil. Here, the soil is clay, and in sandy soil, it doesn't matter. It's not slippery. Here, if it's moist in the mornings, I will fall out of my flip-flops. Plus, the hills make it really hard to navigate in flip-flops. So I would typically have a really good flip-flop tan by now. And now I'm in boots all the time. And there's probably not going to be anything to change that. I'm going to have the world's worst farmer's tan. I'm pretty sure.
Keep talking.
What are you looking for right now? I'm terrified of what you're going to show next.
No, nothing about you. I noticed that Teresa is on the live, and I was going to play. I just can't see except download. I was going to show you something that Teresa sent to the sanctuary. It's something that I opened. I've not had a chance to put it into a video yet. But y'all look how beautiful this is open.
It's a picture. It's not a video.
We got a really sweet gift in the mail. It's for Pebbles.
Big old bell.
Sweet girl. In such a sweet time, you touched our hearts in so many ways. You brought so much joy and love to everyone. You were a true gift that we were not ready to let go. And that she was. This is beautiful, and we thank y'all for this. We're going to put it in a special spot. I'm working on that special spot. And thank you. Anyway, that's a really sweet gift. We received that this week. Jamie actually opened it, and she called me over to look at it. Was that from Teresa? That was from Teresa Eulenhake, and that's just really, really sweet. So thank you for doing that, Teresa. We appreciate that. And it was just a wonderful picture of Pebbles. I don't know where she found that picture, but in this picture, Pebbles nice and fat and healthy, and she's still wearing her bell. And, you know, she's been our only female goat to ever wear a bell. Yeah. We've had a lot of female goats. Man, just more than I can name. And wow,
but Pebbles was the only one with enough personality to wear the bell.
And we would joke that she is Ringo in a female version. Yes. We certainly miss her. We certainly miss that little girl.
Absolutely.
But I saw Teresa was in the comments. I wanted to let you know, Teresa, that I'm going to include this in a video. Now, I have a lot of stuff, Jamie, also from Maggie. And so I'm actually in the process of compiling all of these neat things together that we've been gifted, that I wanted to do it in one large video. But that was one of the things that I still had on my phone at the moment. So thank you so much, Teresa, for that. That was special.
So people have been sending really neat things, and I know we haven't done a formal gifting goodies in a long time. It makes us a little uncomfortable to have this big gift opening thing, but I still wanted to be able to say thank you and kind of display and talk about some of the things and put to use. So I've been doing some of my gifting goodies in reels on the shorts and just kind of showcasing some of the things and then doing something with it, that type of thing. Because I thought that I would be really good at finding people and sending a message or handwriting thank yous. And it turns out that I have no time. So the best thing that I know how to do is to grab my camera and open it up and make a video of what I'm opening and post it from that. So just thank you for everyone that is so thoughtful and kind to us and thinks of the animals and just all of the really special things.
Tammy says, have y'all gotten any recent pics from the puppies? Well, that would be Holly Darlene right there. Isn't she just the cutest thing ever? Miss Norma sends me pictures of her on a pretty regular basis. And so she's just adorable.
So don't show all those because I'm working on a video and I've gotten a few things from.
Can I show one more?
All right.
I got so many This is a little video. That's her playing in the garden. Can you see that?
She still looks like Beagle to me.
She does look a lot like a beagle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her face. She was always one of the prettiest dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has some really neat things that she sends. And then, of course, I'm sorry, I'm showing all the videos.
I know. I'm like, man, you're.
That's her playing in water.
Oh my God, she fell in the water.
You can tell that Norma just loves that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her, and it shows in all the videos that she sends. How much she just loves that little girl. So yeah, I would say that I got quite a few pictures of. Is it Holly, Darlene?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we see Moose there at Jake's house all the time.
Well, I got Pugsley in the emails this
Oh,
weekend,
okay.
and I also got Rocky in emails, and then of course we do see Moose. Holly Darlene. I saw that Bear's mom was on here earlier.
Yeah.
Who am I not thinking of right now?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I saw an email from Wednesday too. So I am putting together a video because I've been working on this. And then Christmas had a little meet and greet today too, which I'm really excited to show y'all as well.
Oh, with Moose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Did she recognize him?
I can't tell you.
You're not going to talk about it.
No.
You can always give teasers.
I just did. It's that there's a video coming out.
Jamie. All right.
I guess you'll have to watch it too.
I guess I will have to then. All right. Well, listen, that's all I actually had. We didn't really have a written agenda. We wanted to talk a little bit about the new game that we got that we played a lot. We spent Jamie was sitting there cooking this morning, and Lex and I are sitting here playing, and then Jamie and I played, then Lex and Jamie played. We had a lot of fun with this game.
I'll probably beat you a few more times tonight.
I'm sure you will. And then talking about Christmas and Stella, Billy Bob, all of their procedures went wonderful. We're very blessed for great vets who love these babies as much as we do, and then some. They devote, so much of their energy towards making sure all of our babies are happy.
Well, they even checked in last night. They sent text last night asking how they were doing, which is just something really special. For our vets to follow up and check in. Billy Bob had that extra procedure done. And of course, Christmas and Stella, because they are under heartworm treatment at the same time, there's just a little bit more risk in those surgeries. So they wanted to follow up and check on them, but everybody's doing well. Oh my God, don't do it. I know what you just looked for.
I'm not.
Because what's sad is they're still sitting on my counter right now.
I can't feed them to anybody because they have formaldehyde on them, okay? So I got to throw them away. I'm just going to throw them away. I didn't know they put formaldehyde around them. Anyway, how is the heartworm treatments going? So everyone is about done with their...
Except Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob
hasn't started his yet.
No, we wanted to get this other thing done for him first. But yeah, so for the girls, I would say that they are well. I don't know exactly how many are left, maybe 2 or 3, 4. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're right there at the end of that treatment. And so thank God they all handled that good. During their most recent visits, they looked great. And so, hey, can we talk about Stella? Would you mind? Let's get real serious for a minute. Let me hide this. And let's get real serious before we end. And for those who've already left, I'm so sorry.
We have had a major behavior change in Stella in the last couple days. And it's a little alarming to us because it came out of nowhere. And it's not a good change.
So we always joked that Stella has a little bit of junkyard dog in her. Now, when I say that, I mean just, your typical junkyard dog is mean,
She's scrappy.
rough, tough, scrappy. And so, what's been going on lately is that Stella is patrolling. I'm going to say patrolling all of the food bowls. And we keep out several food bowls in different strategic locations around the entire shop area. And Stella patrols them and doesn't let the other animals, the other dogs, eat.
And I'm not talking about running dogs off of them. I'm talking about she will walk by, and they're spread out in the shop. This is a 40 by 60 shop. Is that about right? Mm-hmm. They're spread out over this big place, and there are 6 bowls of food, 3 bowls of water, plus a pool with water in it. And that's their dry food. They eat. We feed wet food to everyone at the same time, and the dry food is for free feeding. In case we have different sized dogs, and they all eat just at different times of the day and whatnot. Stella patrols those bowls, like walks to each one and paces and gives the side eye all the way across. She doesn't growl. She doesn't bark. She doesn't go up when anybody else is eating. She patrols them to check the amount of food in them. And it is the most mafia-like activity that I have ever seen in my life.
And so it was not really a shock to us to see that Christmas had lost some weight, but we know that Christmas will not eat around Stella. And even though Stella can be off out in the yard, Christmas will not eat. She's scared to eat. And so Stella is also showing a lot of aggression towards people. You know that we've had a fella here helping me work. Well, I've been helping him work. He's the main guy, but helping work on the greenhouse. And so every day I have to make sure that she's put away because she will eat him up. And so we thought it might just be him until this weekend. Lex came and she wanted to eat Lex up. Even after I showed her that Lex is good, and I would say no and be very affirmative in my commands, not being mean, but just being, I was just, she wanted to eat him up. And it terrified me to know that because she wasn't always like that. Lex has been here multiple times.
She's never been that way to anyone. And here's the weird trigger. I'm going to talk about one more weird trigger thing that happened. And then I'm going to talk about some of my theories of why. Yesterday, Lester got back and was walking up from the garage where he keeps the feed and the hay and everything. And Stella growled at him like he was a stranger. And then last night I was walking up from Dixie's pasture and she barked and growled at me like I was a stranger. Now, my theories are a little bit about what's changed. I started to look around what's changed.
Pause. So this has been before her procedure. So for everyone saying it's her procedure, this is before the procedure. It's been the last 2 weeks. So go ahead.
So this is probably a TMI. Is it my cycle that has triggered her to some sort of strange reaction, and where I'm at in my cycle to feel protective or to smell something wrong? Is it that she has had her ears packed and now, even though she could hear a little bit before, she can't hear anything? So now she's on hyper mega alert and she's off of the steroids. So she's unwound from the steroid and had probably a little bit of withdrawal coming off of those, and did all of that happen at the same time to just make her hyper vigilant and scared, and this is reactionary? Or is it that she was coming off the steroids and now she's actually on pain meds on top of this that are making her a little bit aggressive, because the steroids did this to her probably on a 10th of this level? It was just a little bit of
towards the other dogs only. Yes. At first.
Yes.
So I've always thought that the healthier she got, the more aggressive she became. So when we first got her, she was clinging to life. She was just clinging to life. And so it was obvious when we first got her that she had no fight in her. She had nothing. She had no soul. And over the course of the month or two that we've worked with her and got her back into, better health, the vets and all, with all of the treatments and this and that, I think that now she's gained or regained her confidence, and she actually feels like she can fight and she can do what she needs to do. Now, I don't know why she's being aggressive towards us on those rare occasions, unless she can't see us. She doesn't know who we are. She hears a truck, she hears a car, she hears a door close, she hears the vibration, and she just assumes that it's a stranger. Um, with Lex, him just coming outside and being a kid running around the yard, her chasing him down like in a very aggressive kind of way scares me. But um, I don't know. I don't know, but it's worrisome. I told Jamie that if we didn't have kids here, or if there wasn't a guy here helping me work a couple of times a week, I would be, yes, that's great, man. Let her. We need a good watchdog, someone that's going to put the fear of God in someone passing through here. That's what you want in a good watchdog. But I don't like the fact that she's making the other dogs scared to eat. Now, Millie and Fiona just ignore her. She's never jumped on them. She's never tried to fight them. She's never fought anybody as far as actually rolling around the dirt fighting. But it's just her,
like her demeanor.
It scares Christmas, because Christmas knows that she's no match for Stella.
Yeah.
And Millie and Fiona just kind of like scoff her off, like, whatever, move. I'm eating. I'm hungry. Even though she's grounded all of them. But to see her make Christmas not want to eat worries me.
What's weird is at the vet, she never showed any of that.
Nothing. No.
Nothing whatsoever. And I think it's gotten worse since her procedure. And that's where I started to tie it. Like, I started to tie in all of the other things and think that it's a combination of all of it. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like the ear packing had to be part of it. Whether it has made her reduce sensitive there and hypersensitive elsewhere, but it's just kind of giving us a little bit of like a pause on, let's figure this out.
Yeah, we don't want any of our animals to be unhappy or unhealthy, and we don't want our animals to live in fear.
No. And we want to do, like, we have to do what's best for all of the animals as well. And I'm not opposed to Stella finding a new home, but I also think that us being open and honest about this is probably ruining any chance of that as well. So we just need to understand the why behind it, and then kind of walk backwards and to figure out what's triggering this, because it hasn't been this way. Not like this.
Jamie, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm reading over on the comments. I'm trying to stop reading because it's kind of funny, but everyone's saying, ask Cesar Millan. Guys, you don't just contact a celebrity and say, hey, this is Lester over at I'm a Survivor. This is Longhorn Lester. What do you think? That is a produced show. And so gosh darn it, if I didn't turn this darn thing off, and it's chiming. But you don't just reach out and talk to TV celebrities and ask them for their opinions on things. Yes, I'm sure he's a very knowledgeable fella, but y'all stop with reach out and talk to Cesar Millan. He's Cesar Millan, for Christ's sake. You don't just reach out and talk to him. So stop all of that.
But she's not like aggressive, like in normal activities with us. There's no aggression whatsoever. There's no aggression in waking her up. There's no aggression. Even when I feed them, or when we feed them, there's not like a snatched out of your hand or a fight amongst dogs or anything like that. It's just that they know that, like, she has somehow put a stamp on that these are all hers right now, and they won't eat it. So, like, we're feeding separately. We're doing other things that, all of the
we're doing all the things that we think that we should do. So we are feeding. Christmas has a chance to eat. We're not letting Christmas eat, but it's just, the thing is, the entire routine has changed. And one thing that we're very big on is being consistent with all of our feeding and all of our animals. And when you disrupt that consistency, it kind of throws everything out of whack. And so now, having to call this dog in and this dog here and this dog over here, it's just a change that we hoped and we did not think we would ever see.
People think you should ask Rick.
Ask Rick, because Rick does think like a dog.
That's not a bad idea.
I can certainly do that. And you know what? I can reach out to Rick.
You could invite Rick over.
I've invited Rick over. Rick doesn't want to go anywhere. Rick is like a homebody more than most people are homebodies.
More than you?
Rick would invite us to his place in a heartbeat, and he has. But we're not going to load up our horses and load up our dog
No.
and travel them up to Dallas to see Rick so he can tell us all that we're doing wrong. But I can talk to Rick.
No, I think it'd be a good idea. I just ask Rick what he thinks. I do think that the ears are part of it. Because I will say that when there's a part of me that's not working right, so usually it's my head, let's be real here, but my neck. If I'm hurting in my neck, everything else seems to go just worse. It just takes a lot more to focus and to be me. When his knee hurts, I can tell that it's taking him a lot to be him because his knee hurts. Same thing with your shoulder. I think that it could be something like that. It could be her ears. It could be the fact that she's hurting from surgery. She doesn't act like it because she's out doing all the things that Stella does. But yeah, I think asking Rick's a good idea.
A lot of people were saying, "Who's Rick? Rick who?" And so Rick Gore is a friend of ours.
He loves the color pink. If you ever interact with him and you say Jamie says that he loves pink.
He also does internet. He's a video creator, but he analyzes things. And so I think that he has 3 channels. Think Like a Horse, where he can really analyze what's going on with your horse and break it down step by step. He also does Think Like a Dog, where he can analyze your dog, much like I'm sure your Cesar Milan does. And then he also has Think Like a Cop. Mm-hmm. And so where he can kind of break down a cop's scenario of why they react in certain ways. He may have other channels besides that, but Rick is a very smart man. And so when we talk about Rick, that's what they're referring to, Rick and Think Like a Horse.
A lot of people are asking if we are going to adopt other dogs and continue with our rescue mission. And the answer is yes. So
listen, we have to slow down and figure out what's what, because now, we have, we've done, let's just say that we've got a lot accomplished in the month of April.
Yes.
We got Stella, Billy Bob, and Christmas have all been fixed. Mm-hmm. We also have Stella, Christmas, and Buddy have all gone through their regimen of heartworm treatments. Mm-hmm. And I believe we're at the vet for something else. We got all the puppies rehomed.
Yeah.
We are working on rehoming Billy Bob. And so now we got to figure out Stella. I think that right now the worst thing that we could do is bring in another dog.
Yeah, no, we have to
on top of what's going on with Stella.
Yeah.
We went today to feed dogs. So don't think that we stopped what our mission is to do our small part in helping out the neighborhood and the dog problem. We fed dogs today. But as far as we've seen some that I think we could help who need help. But what we have to think about is something very serious. And I know that you don't understand this probably, but with the difficulty that we've had in rehoming an animal as cute and as lovable and as sweet and as healthy as Billy Bob, how in the world could it be so hard to rehome someone like Billy Bob? And so in saying so, we have to be prepared that any animal that we actually bring in might end up being here for the long haul.
Yeah.
Because as much as we all say we want to help, we love to help, help has to come in the rehoming. And because we can't have 50 dogs running around. That's not who we are. We are,
we don't have the proper facilities.
No,
for that.
not at all.
It's not that Lester and I don't have enough love to give or things like that. It's that we don't have the proper facilities for that to ensure safety to both them and the rest of our animals. So we need to be able to ensure that we have a good process.
We need a network.
Yeah.
And for as many folks who, and we've said this before, but we don't have the same facilities as far as the other resources that a lot of other towns have with your shelters and all of the things that you guys have. We are a very poor county who doesn't have those resources. We don't have an animal control. And so we do what we can. And it's not just us. There's a lot of folks who we meet out and about who are also out feeding dogs, watering dogs. And so it is a localized problem that's being addressed. But as far as bringing dogs in, with the fact that it's been so hard to rehome, that makes us really second guess. It was funny because we were reached out. Everyone always talks about this Houston. Houston something.
This is Houston.
This is Houston. They always say this is Houston. So they reached out and they asked our help in helping them get their dogs rehomed. Now, this is the page who you all tell us to contact. And they contacted us asking our help. And so the email dialogue went back and forth, and supposedly the fella said that he saw how easy it was for us to get and move all of our puppies. And so we are doing a disservice to the animal population by not using our platform to help move all of these dogs along. And so I get it. That's the way it's perceived. But I'll tell you what, it was one thing for people to watch puppies being born, watching them slowly grow into little bitty feisty little munchkins. And people wanted a piece of that. It's a whole different thing for people to see a dog off the street who you don't know the pedigree, you don't know much about it, you don't know.
It's much like humans, though. So I think that when you know somebody your whole life and you know their quirks and all of the things that they have going on and where they came from, let's just call it small town, that I think that it's probably easier in life to accept them and to just know. And then later on in life, as you get older and you meet people who are older, who have had separate lives and separate stories and maybe secrets that you don't know about, it's a very scary thing to have that unknown to bring into your life.
I just thought it was puppies versus already grown dogs. People want to experience a puppy. They want to smell that puppy breath. They want to watch that puppy grow, train that puppy to do things. Puppies are just cute, just in general. And a dog like Stella, or a dog like Christmas, or a dog like, Billy Bob, who's already grown and
or Buddy.
Or Buddy. Yeah, they're already kind of like set in their ways. They have their habits. This is someone else has already done all the cute and fun stuff, and now they've been kind of just thrown out. And so,
you know that not everybody wants a puppy because puppies are hard. People who've had puppies before know that you got to house train. You have to, there's a lot of behavior things that happen from.
Well, we were contacted and then turned down or / ghosted by at least 10 people with poor Billy Bob. And so I would say that, so we are going to be real careful. But if your concern is the dogs in the neighborhood, and if we're still doing our part, yes, by all means. We have stopped videoing that because people are so critical in the comments, and we're just trying to avoid drama the best we can. If there's going to be drama, let us create it, not you all. And I hated the fact that everyone was fighting and arguing over the fact that we were not rescuing every dog, and why we would rescue some and not others, and why don't we call this, or why don't we call this, or why don't we call Houston Cares, or whatever the company is.
But yeah, so the answer is yes. We are still going to rescue, and we are still going to do our part. But we, I guess, also know our limitations and want to be sure that we're keeping that animal in mind and all of our other animals in mind as we do this too. So the journey is still on.
Yes. Last thing I'm going to say is completely off the subject of dogs, but it is on the subject of training. So this afternoon, Jamie and I met with Ellie and Megan over at the sanctuary, and we had a really nice, I would say, an hour-long training session. Is that what you would call it? We talked a whole lot about the odds and ends, things that you don't see in videos, behind the scene things that have to be done. Everyone knows.
The dirty job, scrubbing the buckets and cleaning up the poop and checking feet and cleaning up barns and, the non-fun stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that we don't make a lot of videos about because there's not a whole lot of interest in seeing things. And so we just wanted to remind them that running the sanctuary is not just a 15-minute video you make and saying that you run the sanctuary, but going through all of the dirty jobs, Jamie, is that's very well said. And so we went through, and it was great. They put their phones up, and they were following around, asking a lot of questions, and I think it was productive.
Yeah.
It was very productive. And then, of course, we went inside after we were done with the outside stuff, and then we just talked. We just talked like four adults, and Jamie put on her business hat, and she, pretty much laid down the law and talked a lot about you guys. We talked a whole lot about you guys and your expectations for us and the channel and the animals and all of the things that have made I'm a Survivor and, the community that we are, and talked about the fact that we're not letting that go. And we're going to continue to maintain a very high standard, and we're going to continue to make other farms push themselves to do better and be better. And I'm getting bumped over here. I'll stop. Go ahead, finish it up.
No, that's never mind. No, it's just the biggest competition that we have is with ourselves. And the thing that we have always strived to do is to be better than we were yesterday. And that's not about make a better video. That's not show you a little bit more. That's in real life, to be better than we were yesterday, to find something to improve upon and to leave things better than we found them that day. So if that means that you pick up that extra piece of trash or you scrub off the concrete because it's not good for it to just pile up with dirt or poop, or to roll up the hose because something could trip on it, something being Lester. Thanks. Then that's what it is. And I was very adamant today about the work that Lester and I put into this is not to be mistaken as or taken for granted, and that we're looking to Ellie and Megan to continue on what we have put on and to make it better as well. And that is the same conversation we've had with Ben, we've had with Jake, we've had with every single person that's ever come out to help us with anything. Even in the very beginning, people probably don't know this. There were some volunteers that came, and there were people that came and helped you. There was a guy who came and helped you build a fence and things like that. We have always said that the goal here is to be better than we were yesterday. And that goes on the tiniest level to the biggest level. And it matters. And I told Ellie and Megan today, you're going to hear from business Jamie today and not stepmom Jamie today. You're going to hear things that are a little bit uncomfortable, but these are our expectations. Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
So,
and then we also reminded them that we're going to be there every step of the way,
yes,
not to look over their shoulders and not to police them. We want to give them the autonomy to do what, make choices and make decisions but make them mature always with the animals as their first priority and what's best for their interest and the animal's best interest. And so it was a really nice time with Ellie and Megan. And so I think that Megan takes everything very seriously. You all saw a while ago, we talked about how she's very competitive. She wants to really step up and do a great job here. And so I'm excited about it. And I'm just really happy that we're able to have all four of us sit down and talk and have a serious discussion, because it's not really common when you get to a certain age to sit down and have those kind of talks where, hey, put the football up, let's put our phones away, let's really sit down and have a serious talk here. But that's how important I'm a Survivor is to us. And so yeah. Anywho, Jamie, I really have exhausted everything. We've had some guy calling you hot. There's a guy sitting here calling you hot.
Well, somebody's calling you and texting you.
Someone's calling and texting me, and now someone's trying to give us money. So we're going to let y'all go. We don't want your money. Thank you for we'll take the compliments. But no one has ever said I'm smoking hot. If I could get 3, 4, could I get 10 people?
We're done here. Thank you.
If I could get 4 people say Lester's smoking hot, I'll read the comments.
Have a great Sunday afternoon.
4 people say Lester's smoking hot. I would promise
I'm hanging up on you all now.
It would make my day.
I love you all. Have a wonderful Sunday.